Okay, doctors, why don't you study an ant colony, you fucking re...
First time watching this, most people have the same reaction. This guy is insane, and I thought so too. But then I've learned about who he is. He's built an entire operating system, including the compiler, in his own programming language. Many programmers have compared this to building an entire skyscraper all by himself, and his name was Terry A. Davis. Building an operating system is a task reserved for thousands of software engineers. Terry did it on his own. He wrote over 100,000 lines of code in the programming language he invented. In his own words, guided by God. I've learned he's been struggling with schizophrenia. One effect it can have is loose associations, connecting ideas that seem unrelated. To the person experiencing it, the connections feel obvious, but to everyone else, they can sound like nonsense. Maybe there is a deeper structure to what he was saying earlier. He's clearly very smart. Maybe it's just his condition that makes the meaning blurry. Maybe it wasn't just an outrage. So I started forming a theory. Doctors look at you and tell you what's wrong with you in the medical terms, just like the society judges people for being different. Humans have evolved with the unconditional need to have others around them. Being rejected from a tribe meant certain death. It's in our nature to compromise, to not question the consensus, and to follow what's expected of us. An ant doesn't choose its own path. It follows the trail, the same way people follow the trail that the society lays down. So when Terry said,
doctors, why don't you study an ant colony, you fucking re...
he was pointing at the fact that everyone, including them, were just smaller pieces of a larger system following orders, unaware of the fact that they aren't even thinking for themselves, and at the same time they were judging him as if they were above him, and that's where his anger was coming from. I wanted to believe this story. I wanted to think this was his logic, because a part of me resonated with it. It made me relate to Terry. He knows what it feels like to be misunderstood, I thought, but later discovered this narrative probably says more about me than about Terry. I noticed that this explanation matches closely to my own beliefs. So I took a step back. Maybe this wasn't about Terry to begin with. I wasn't understanding him. I was projecting onto him. Loose connections connect ideas that feel meaningful. Looking back, that's exactly what I was doing. It's like when a barista smiles at a guy, because that's her job, and from that interaction, he idealizes her, thinking she's perfect. I was looking for what I wanted to see, not what was really there. I couldn't have known what he meant. I didn't know him, but I wanted to feel like I did. Because sometimes it's easier to invent a story about someone than to admit we don't really know them.
Well, I'm King Terry, and learned how to purify myself in a horribly impure environment. It's pretty rough living homeless and in a